Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome back. I'm Zhenya. Welcome to Ukraine Dating TV, the world's first and only by donation video dating platform, which allows you to win the hearts of Ukrainian women and which also allows you to meet all the beautiful single Slavic women. Anyway, so today's topic is what is wrong with modern dating. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna play the video and then we can chit chat about it. So let's
Today's
go.
dating and society is just horrible. The new texting is getting to know you. People easily can move on to somebody else with a quick sliding in their DMs or getting on a dating app. Sleeping with other people is so much easier than working hard for it. People don't want to make effort anymore. We don't set up dates. We ask you, where do you want to go eat? What are you craving? Nah, man. Back in the days, you had to make effort. The 80s and 90s love is so much different. You had to actually talk to them. You had to call them. We didn't have FaceTime. We'd meet up for coffee. We would get to know each other and we build a future together. Today's society is, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then you get ghosted or you get used and then they find somebody else. No one cares about your feelings anymore. The society of dating is crap. It literally makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, all right. So hello, gentlemen. Hello, Ramesh, and hello, Bill. It is nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. So for the people that don't know me, my name is Zhenya. I am from Ukraine, and I live in Canada, in Calgary, for a little bit over 25 years. Anyway, so let's get to the topic here. I would have to agree and disagree at the same time. Not every topic I agree on. So with this topic, I want to say, yeah, it is horrible. Um, in some cases, which I would must say that yes, the social media, the internet, it has ruined. Um, it has ruined dating for a lot of people. Hi, Pat. But yet I'm a hopeless romantic. So, and that's how most Ukrainian women are. We are romantic. We date to marry. We don't date just to date. Um, Maybe when the like even teenagers, because I remember when I was growing up, most of my classmates I was already married by the time they finished high school. So, but so back to the topic. I have to say that it's the social media, the internet is a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I mean, yes, nowadays you can back in the days, when there was no internet, no social media, people tend to really date regionally. So would date neighbors or friends of friends, but literally in the same kind of location, not even in a different neighborhood. It was usually just your neighbors or people that you know. But nowadays, because of the internet, it's you can meet people from all over the world, and this is why we're here. Also, because we provide you guys connection to beautiful Ukrainian women that are looking for serious relationships, that want to get married, have children, build families. Not just to date. And so anyway, I always discuss my topic the night before I go. I go on podcast here, just to get some insights from my friends, my boyfriend as well. And um yes, like I'm 80s child, so I am back in the day. Again, I was growing up, it was completely different era, of course. So but we're all evolving, we're all adjusting, right? So so the good thing about having the social media is that you can meet someone who's overseas or in a different country, not necessarily overseas, but you get the drift. So and I know that everybody has a soulmate, and I believe that everybody has their other half. It's just a matter of finding them. So the social media and the internet provides you with that. But also, like this gentleman in the video, tw- no, I lived here for 25 years, so that makes me a little bit older. Anyway, um, so basically, um, wait a minute, 1 second, gentlemen. Let me just put here. Um, 1 second. Sorry about this. Is my computer is a little bit slow. Oops. Yeah. So, okay, back to comments. So yeah, uh, here I watch a lot of YouTube videos because of this podcast that I do. So I watched a lot of dating stuff, dating videos from Western society mostly. And yes, I mean, when I used to have social media, and it was back in the day when I was single, and I would have just mostly pictures of my food and a few pictures of myself, right? And I would have people would DM me, guys would DM me every day. I would have like filled up, inbox. So women nowadays, they're just kind of like get too relaxed, and they're like, well, if doesn't work out with you, then I have like at least 20 guys waiting for me, right? But ladies, don't mistake in those guys just because that you look beautiful or they want to sleep with you, and hit it and quit it, basically, right? So women think nowadays just because the other guys, telling them, oh, you look beautiful on the internet. And I mean, there's so many guys, they will write one DM and then send it to multiple women, just shooting the shot. See the difference between women always get hit on. It's because for a woman to get a man, it's a lot easier than for a man to get a woman, right? So women nowadays, they think, oh well, I have all these guys sending me emails in like on the internet, in my social media, Instagram or whatever it is that people using these days, and they think that their value goes up because a man wants to be with her and just like intimately, like just like I mentioned before, just sleep with her, and then he doesn't really want a serious relationship again, right? So people uh, stop trying, like this, like the video, the gentleman mentioned that. Yeah, right now it's like, okay, so well, if you're not here, like it's okay, I can move on, so this doesn't work out. And I remember back in the days, gentlemen, before, I noticed these days, when I was single, I still went out on dates. The guys didn't put any effort into picking the place where they want to take me. They just like pick me up and be like, well, where do you want to go? And I'm like, well, I thought you asked me out, you wanted to take me out. And I'm thinking, well, and I would say, well, why didn't you pick something? Well, I wasn't sure what you would like. Well, this is why communication is the key. I keep telling people that you need to communicate. It could be a little thing, it could be a big thing, it could be a little thing you don't communicate about, it can grow into a big thing. Been there before, done that. It's always good to communicate. Maybe not when you're angry, not when you're angry. If you have an issue with someone, not when you're angry. And I know myself, when I'm angry, I can say a lot of mean things that I don't mean. And anyway, so, but communication is the key. So that's why I told him, well, why didn't you ask me what kind of food? And he's like, well, I wasn't sure what kind of food you like. I'm like, well, you could have asked me. We had the whole week for us to discuss, and I asked you what I should wear, and you said wear whatever. So, and then he felt that I was overdressed because I wore a nice dress and high heels. And I know it's not really common here in Canada, North America. Women don't dress this way unless they go into work or they have to be. But so my point is that back in the day, man, used to we didn't have exactly we didn't have cell phones, so it was like, okay, so let's go out Friday. I'm picking you up at 7. And when the guy's on the way, I couldn't text him and say, hey, I'm I have to cancel. Nowadays it's just people got so relaxed because they think, well, internet, so I can always find somebody else. And a lot of women and a lot of men, when they have someone good, and they just let them go because they think, well, maybe there's something better around the corner, and then it comes back and bites them in the ass. They realize that, oh shoot, I had this good person, but I thought, well, I'm beautiful, so maybe I'll find somebody better, maybe I'll find somebody with better money, maybe I'll find somebody better looking, and stuff like this. And people just don't appreciate what they have. Okay, and this is the downfall of humanity, that especially in the Western society, I noticed that it's overall, it's not just the dating scene. It's just it it's I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Canada and everything, but it's just kind of a lot of things here are kind of backwards. But um but I love it here. I wouldn't want to move anywhere. So okay, let's see the comments. Okay, one second, guys. One second, one second. Right here. Okay. Let's get 2 comments. Okay, let's see, Bill. I like your Funko Pop characters. Yeah. Oh, you see them? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, oops. Yeah, these are from Galaxy, Guardians of Galaxy. Share your favorites. Can you someday share your favorites? My favorite is Cosmo. Cosmo, because she was Russian and she had a cute accent and she was kind of deadly. Anyway, so back to the topic. Um, yeah, so I personally don't have any social media, not anymore, and even when I had it, I was barely on it, is because it's just most of it is garbage, right? Also was talking to my friend last night about um this topic as well. And yes, I mean, it could be horrible. Like I said, because of the podcast, I do a lot of research, and so I watch a lot of dating videos and all YouTube and stuff like that, and read a lot of stories just to get ideas, from, like, to see the difference between them. The Western dating pool, and then Eastern, right? Ukrainian or Slavic mostly. I don't go too much into Eastern because I don't know that part. But so basically, our women, they're all vetted. So all of our ladies, that's what they want. They want to date to marry, not to date just to, oh well, and then let's just hang out for a bit, and once I find somebody better, then I will leave. No, this is where Ukrainian women are different. Like, I also was talking to my grandma this morning, um and she knows about my podcast, right? She lives in Ukraine, and then we just discussed this and stuff. And um she was telling me, when I was younger, she was always telling me, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna marry somebody very good looking and with a lot of money, and but I don't know. When I was a kid, so my man would take me out to restaurants all the time, and she's like, yeah, that's what you're saying right now. And well, I guess that all changed because I love to cook. I don't even like going out to eat. And uh Ukrainian one, we all love to cook. I know that for a fact. That's just in our blood. Even if we don't, even if we're not taught how to cook, it's just kind of in our blood. So, um, so he, just trying to like I said, I watch these videos and I see like the women in the West, they have like very high, like super high standards when they really kind of on a lower bar. Um, to me, the first date, for example, it has to be something simple. The women here, they're also like expecting, oh, you if you don't take me to the 4 or 5 star restaurant on the first date, then you don't value me. And I'm thinking, well, but but why? Why do you need to be to go on the expensive dates, 5 star restaurant? I mean, 5 star restaurant. I understand when you already dated and it's your anniversary, right? Not everybody can afford 5 star restaurant to go to. This is where you know I mean, every Ukrainian woman I know, that they first dates, it's a coffee, a little walk in the park, something very easy, where you actually get to know the person, where you actually talk to the person and not go to the restaurant, sit across from each other, stuff in your face. It's actually kind of hard to have a conversation when you're hungry, and eating. So I always suggest it has to be something very simple, and don't ever mention your financial situation. Not in the beginning, like how much you're making. I mean, I still don't know how much my boyfriend's making. I don't ask him because it doesn't matter. Unless we get married, then I really don't need to know his financial situation, right? Another thing that I found out not too long ago, if you marry someone, you also marry into, if they're broke and they have a debt, you marry into it. I didn't know that. So, so you gotta be careful with, getting married. Yeah, always have to discuss all these things before you get serious, of course. But when you just the first date or even a second date, hi Santos, hi Steen. Um, so like I said, I remember when guys used to court women, open the doors and bring them flowers on a date. That's Ukrainian women really love this, really love the flower thing. Like I also mentioned before, I do like flowers, but I like them when they're not cut. So I prefer plants. But yes, Ukrainian, and it doesn't have to be anything too extravagant. Just one rose. It's the thought that counts. And back to what my grandma told me when I was telling her that I want to marry this, good looking and blah blah blah. She's like, yeah, no, the man should look a little bit better than an ape. And you have to. All you need in life is trust and loyalty, and not to be mental. I'm guessing, uh, so trust, loyalty, love, that's pretty much all you need to have a successful relationship. Right? Without trust, you you cannot have a relationship. You're always going to be thinking, and also trust is earned, is not given. I always give everybody, even people that I don't know, just a little bit, of benefit of a doubt, right? You can't just judge people right away off the bat. Well, he doesn't look like he's clean cut because he's whatever. Like maybe he's a broke ass, and then and he's just working hard. So yeah, judging the person, the book by its cover is always not. It's never a good idea because looks can be deceiving. I've learned that the hard way. So and yeah, mm, like I mentioned before, it's the internet, because nowadays you can obviously meet the love of your life if she lives, across the country, right? Back in the day, it was not possible, but it also spoiled the idea of dating. Like it's because your women have all these men in their DMs all the time. So if it doesn't work out, they don't put too much. Exactly, there's not much effort put in their relationships anymore. I remember like watching my grandpa and my grandma. I mean, they still had date nights when I was in my like late 20s, and up until he passed away, they always used to have date nights. Well, when they were younger, they used to go out, but then they would have date nights at home, have a nice dinner, candle lights, and stuff like this, right? And but now I know in Western society, women expect too much from men, and like, oh, it has to be very expensive restaurant, or I'm not. I got like I've seen videos where a woman like, well, what you want to take me to Red Lobster, and I'm like, well, wait, what's wrong with Red Lobster? Oh, it's a chain restaurant. Well, I mean, it's not cheap, right? And the food is, well, I don't know. Like I said, me, I'm very picky about the food. Plus, I really love to cook, so that you can impress me with the rest. Taking me out to a restaurant, I have time. Most of the time, I'm disappointed anyway. Okay, I like dark. Okay, so let's see. Now let's see, gentlemen. Okay, Santos. Due to many heartbreaking stories, having trust could be really challenging. I listen. You know what? It's very true, Santos. And I've been heartbroken so many times, and I gave up 2 years ago. I gave up on dating. I was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I don't know if there's something wrong with me, or am I too trusting? Am I too caring? Uh, I always try to see the best in people, and I get burnt because a lot of people take my kindness for weakness. And I honestly, Santos, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want this. This obviously is not happening for me, and it did happen. So you never know. And I really trust this man with my life. Well, I couldn't even trust myself before I met him. I was really in a very dark place. But and like I mentioned before, my grandparents, they were a perfect couple. That's I watched them, and that's what I wanted in life, right? Even though they met when I was already born, or like a year before I was born, something like this. But yeah, so it was their second marriage for both of them, and they lived happily ever after. I mean, now my grandma's all alone, but the point is that you never know. You can be married 2 times, and you can have a crappy life before, but then all it takes is to meet one good person that has unconditional love for you. And I I've always given my unconditional love before, but now that I'm receiving, I'm looking at the dating and everything else completely different. Um, okay, so let's see. Okay, Bill, you like, yeah, so I mean, Santos, yes, the trust is earned. So, like I mentioned earlier, trust is earned. You give a little bit, but then you just watch the person. If they disrespect you, if they lie to you, especially for no reason. I mean, lying is bad, period, right? Not telling the truth is bending this rule, I guess. It's thin line between lying and not telling the truth, but it's like I say this and I preach this. Lies like a piece of turd. It will float eventually, so float up. So if you base your relationship on a lie, it's now never gonna work, right? And God is God. Okay, give me. Yeah, sure. Are you gonna send it to me? I'll take it. Thank you, Bill. Okay, so Santos, I know two Western men who are now looking for Slavic ladies because they lost hope in Western ladies. Yes, I wouldn't say lose complete hope because I know plenty of Canadian women. I don't know about American women because I don't live there. So all all I'm saying that what I observe, what I see, like online dating, like I watch these videos of Western women have unbelievable standards that I mean it's just it blows my mind. It's like, well, my man has to make at least $500,000 to be with me, and I have two baby daddies, and I have three kids with two men, but he has. And I'm just like, wait, what? 500,000, like average. What's the average salary? What I want to say somewhere, I'm thinking Canada average would be like 40,000, or maybe even less than that. I'm thinking like 35,000. So how can a woman expect a man to make that much, like 500,000? That's insane. That's just, it's insane. And then why would that man, like the man that makes that much money, even if he's ugly, if he's just super ugly, that man has options, okay? And I'm just saying that Western, I see the Western society, and like I said, is only from my observation, only from what I see, that um it's very it's very materialistic here, right? Women, yeah, the first they ask how much you're making and this and that. It's like, why does it matter? Well, how much are you making? Like, if you call yourself this independent woman, what difference does it make to you? Shouldn't you care about the person, or what the person is like what like what his character is like, how he treats women, how he treats elderly, how he treats his parents, you know those are the things that are important to Ukrainian women, because we want to build a life not based on material things. Because I keep saying this, I keep telling people that women that just go for the money, it's you won't it's not a relationship, it's a business transaction. I see people where women just marry for money, and the man is marrying a woman because of her looks, and it's just a business transaction. And sometimes they even have what is it called, crap, prenup, where she is not allowed to gain weight. She has to stay the size this, and then she has to maintain her figure. She has to maintain her diet, this, that, and that's fine. And he signs that, well, I give her this much allowance a month. So then I'm thinking, like, well, what was the point of even getting married, right? Why not just have sign a contract? What's the point of getting married? Like, to me, I always that's why I haven't been married, and I'll be 43 on the 29th, because I thought to myself, I will only marry for love. Because, like I said, everybody in my family got divorced. I've seen the ugly and I've seen the beautiful. So when I saw my grandparents, I figured, you know what? They met in their early 50s or something. Anyway, around there. If they and they both been married, they both had kids already. So I mean, to me, it's most important for me to it was for me to find someone that I'm compatible with, that we have fun, and fun not based on how much money he's spending on me. you know, we have fun going outside playing frisbee. you know that's a blast for me. I'm cooking dinner. I give him a little bit of, responsibilities. Go cut some potatoes, right? He feels included. So these things, and if you can't have fun without money, then there's something wrong with you, right? That's where I'm telling you, that's where, Ukrainian, and I'm not talking about Ukrainian women. Ukrainian people are just different, because we don't grow up where it's like there's so much food that people just throw away food. That doesn't happen in Ukraine. Nobody throws away food. I've never seen a store going and throwing away a bunch of donuts because they're 1 hour expired. Anyway, so that's besides the point. Anyway, that's not the topic, but you know what I mean. So here is because there's the abundance of everything here in the West. So people just live very comfortable lives, like, well, I don't have to finish this. Ugh, just who eats leftovers? I've never seen people I've never seen people throw away that much food. It's insane to me. I've never seen this. This is crazy. So and so this is the Western society. It's like, well, I can always just buy another one. I can always just get another one. Who cares? Like, just throw it away. There's always more. There's always more. This is why Western dating and Western, uh, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, Western life is good if you have a good job, or doesn't. You don't even have to have a great job. As long as you have stability in life, you can have a decent life, right? Um, but so yeah, that's my point. Too much of everything here, and then people just get relaxed and like, well, it didn't work out with this guy, let me just log on to whatever it is, dating app or whatnot. And it was also saying, like, I know these women that one of them, she was on this dating app, something Bumble or something, and then apparently you have to pay for it, like, you anyway. So she even told me, she told me that when I was single, she's like, "Oh, why don't you just go on here for dating?" I'm like, "Well, I first of all, no, I'm not ready, and second of all, that's okay. I'm not looking for anything right now." She's like, "Well, you don't really have to, date. You can just get free dinners." And she would go on dates 2, 3 times a week with different guys just to score some free food. And I was like, yeah, I don't do that. I don't want free food. I don't even like outside food. I only like my own food. Very, very picky about food. So I'm kind of spoiled because I spoil myself. So, so that's what I'm saying. And then, so I see these women also, they be like, well, yeah, I want to go for dinner, and it has to be a very expensive restaurant. I don't go to this, I don't go here, I don't go there. I do understand for men, and this is why these men here in the West, they're very undecisive, because first of all, they've been beaten up in in life. So a lot of them are people pleasers. They want to just please the woman, like whatever she says, this is like, oh, where do you want to go, where do you feel like eating? And one thing I know for sure, that women are so undecisive when it comes to what they want to eat. So man, please be in charge. Just serious. Okay, we are going here. Unless she has, I don't know, like if she has seafood allergy, make sure you don't take her to Red Lobster, right? So, but take charge. Women, most women, they like a man who takes charge, not to be bossing her around. No, not that, but be assertive. I Be assertive. Decide, like, okay, so I'm picking you up. Okay, make sure that your both of your times are free, and then say, okay, well, okay, get ready. And I always I when I went out on dates before, I would always ask what I should wear, right, according to where he's taking me. So okay, so let's see. Do. Oh yeah, Santos, and you said, yeah, well, send them our way. These gentlemen, like I said, we have beautiful Ukrainian women, and they want to get married. They want serious relationship. They don't want to mess around. They don't want to waste your time. They don't want to waste their time either. Like, women on our dating side, is they're all like, they're all vetted. They all want relationships. They want to get married. They want to have kids. They don't want to waste any more time. So anyway, okay, so when does a Slavic woman give a man gift? What kind of gift you talking about? Because you can what kind of gift you talking about? Okay, I don't know. Depends on what gift. Oh, sorry, I forgot to shut off my phone. 1 second. I am so sorry, you guys. I did not. Yeah, I talked to my grandma in the morning and I forgot to shut it off. I usually shut it off. Anyway, let's see. Okay, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Depends on why you give up on Western ladies. Some guys are just lazy. Those are going to be eaten alive by Slavic women. That's one thing too. Yes. Don't be lazy. Exactly. Laziness. We don't like lazy men. Like coming from Ukraine. I watched. My grandpa was a handyman. First of all, he had an education. He was a international referee for water polo. Well, first he was anyway. And hold on a second. So yeah, I every so people in Ukraine, most of them are fit. If you see a fat person, it's usually an older people that already can't really not that mobile, can't move around too well, you know. Um, so we are physically fit, and we like physically fit people. So lazy is not in the vocabulary. Period. Like we're not lazy. We like to do things around the house, like clean, cook as women, and Slavic men. I know every one of them are handymen. And even my grandpa, when I was growing up, he taught me how to build things too. So I'm a handy woman, but I prefer not to do these things because why? Because I got a man that can do these things, and if he doesn't know how to do it, I'll teach him. Anyway, let's see. What else? Why do you think that many men think that most? Oh, hey, Pat. Most ladies want well-off men. Well, that's because in Western society, this is what women want. They claim to be independent, but they want a man who pays all the bills, which I don't think it's fair. So, okay, Pat. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I am doing peachy. Thank you for asking. What about you?
I'm just on my way down to my old place to haul some more stuff up. And my
Mhm.
move has been a very long process. Moving farms, and I'll never do that again. It's
Oh,
a lot
oh.
more than just moving your house
Well,
when you decide
yeah,
to take all your
I would
stuff with you.
say, especially if you have cattle and all that, right? Yeah, I've moved so many times in my life, and if I have to move one more time, it's gonna be the last time. And if it has to be the
Well,
cemetery,
that's pretty much what I've said. I said to somebody, if I ever decide to move a farm again, just kick me in the crotch and don't say
yeah.
anything. Just come up and kick me, because yeah, it's a lot of work.
So where are you from, Pat?
I live east of Smoky Lake, Alberta, which is northeast of Alberta, northeast
Oh,
of
so
Edmonton.
you're Albertan as well. I live in Calgary. I've
Yeah,
been living
yeah.
25 years. Yes.
I
Still.
grew up in Edmonton.
Oh, I haven't been to Edmonton in many years, like many years, but kind of want to go at the same time. No, I don't know what is there to do. I mean, right now in Calgary we have Stampede, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not a fan, but I mean, it brings a lot of money to Calgary, I guess. But at the
Oh,
same time,
huge, huge.
yeah, but you can't go anywhere. Like try to go downtown. It's parking, like $50 an hour. Like okay,
Oh,
thank
it's
you.
ridiculous.
I'll pass. I'll pass.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I don't like
tell me
crowds
more.
either myself.
So tell me more about you. Are you looking for a Ukrainian lady? When was your last
Yes, I am.
relationship?
Well, my last relationship was a very long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was married. It fell through fairly quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I never really gave up on trying to fix it, eventually she got sick and died. So there was no fixing it then.
Oh,
But yeah,
my
I'm
condolences.
actually going to
Mm-hmm.
meet somebody in Turkey here in August that I met
Oh
on
yeah.
Match Guarantee.
Okay.
We're going to go
That's
meet in
yay.
Antalya, Turkey.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm very excited for you. Yes. So tell me
yeah.
more. How long you guys been talking?
Well, I started on the site only in May, and then
Mm-hmm.
she was actually the second lady I talked to,
Mm-hmm.
and she was insisting that we meet sooner than later, and that's fine. She didn't want a pen pal; she wants somebody to meet, right? And
Exactly. That.
I had,
Mhm.
yeah, and I had had the excuse I never had a passport, so that was a bit of a delay. So I sent away for my passport actually just a week
Mhm,
before I spoke with her,
mhm.
and then she had had a European visa, but that expired before because she's from Moscow. Um,
Uh-huh.
her
Okay.
European visa expired before my passport got here. So, and
Mhm.
then her
Oh.
grandma got sick, and I guess over there they have to care for their loved ones if they end up in the hospital.
Oh, well, yeah,
They
that's
the nursing
how we are
staff.
raised. Mhm.
Yeah, so she's been stuck in the hospital caring for her grandmother for the last couple months, and so we ended up coming up with August that she'd hope by
Mhm.
then that her grandma would be out, which I think she's supposed to be out here in another couple weeks.
Mhm.
So that time frame seems to have worked out. So yeah, I'm quite excited about it. It's I've never been
I'm excited for
anywhere
you.
really as an adult. Yeah.
Listen, I'm so excited. I can't wait for you guys to meet, and then you come back and tell me all the details. Well, maybe not all the details,
Well,
but
yeah.
you know what I
Well,
mean.
the
I'm
details that
so
I could share comfortably, right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, that
it's
depends on what kind of details, right? But yeah, so see, this is what I'm talking about. Our women, we don't want to waste time. Like I know a lot of people that go through these web dating apps and all this, and they talk and talk and talk, and then even if they live in the same city, they don't even bother meeting up unless I don't know what happens. But that's the difference. Our women, what's yeah, let's meet. That's the whole point of dating, right? Like
well,
what
yeah.
other
I don't think we talked more than two messages, and she says, I'm not here just to talk for 2 years. When are we
Mhm,
gonna meet?
exactly.
And that was straight
Exactly.
up. And then yeah,
Well,
it's
I
just like
think that
yeah. Sorry.
I mean no, 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 I'm just saying that yeah, that this is how it should be, and like especially this our platform, that we have women, mature women, and then we don't have young men that just coming on here on just for hookups. That's not the website. We don't do
Right.
this. Go mention that so many times before, that if you just want to hook up, with a beautiful Ukrainian lady, it's not gonna happen here,
No.
because
No.
we want we like I said, Joe started all this because he fell in love, and that's his fairy tale. So he wanted to share
Mhm.
because it's happening for people, right? And you can, like I mentioned this so many times, Ukrainian women and the Slavic women and Western men just match made in heaven, because you guys are
Yeah.
looking for women that more submissive, not not nagging you 24/7. You don't come
Mm.
home and just being nagged. Just come home to a homemade meal. Hi, honey, how are you? How's your day? Stuff like that. Like the woman should be a man's peace, not his, chaos, right?
Yeah.
When already
Yeah.
have enough stuff to deal with at work, providing and stuff like this. So the woman should be his piece, right? So,
Yeah.
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking, or just like
Oh, I don't mind.
really?
I turned 50 in August. I turned 50 in
Oh, 50.
August
You don't
19th. Yeah.
you don't look 50. Look
Oh,
younger.
I feel like I'm about 102 some days, but
Man, honestly, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? what? What is this pain coming from? And all I did was just slept wrong, right?
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I remember when
Well,
I was in like go on.
oh no, I was just, yeah, I've got 3 dogs and 2 cats, and sometimes they sleep right up against me when it's cold, and
Oh,
And, I only have a king size bed, so they've got to be right on top of me. And I wake up and it's just like, ow.
When I used to have a cat, and sometimes if I didn't close my bedroom door, he would sneak in and then get under the covers and then sleep right
Yeah.
next to me. And I wake up, I'm like, why? Why am I so hot? Because it was always cold in the basement. I'm like, why
Yeah.
do I feel so hot? And there he is purring. I'm like,
Little
oh, okay, I
furnace.
get it. Well, a
Yeah.
little heater. Yes, exactly. So you're going in August, and how long you going there for?
2
I'm
weeks.
guessing.
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm planning on going in September to go see my grandma. She's
Uh-huh.
been asked. I wanted to go in 2000. The Corona started. That finished. The war started. So, like you, at least you guys can meet. Well, she's from Russia. You can meet outside of Ukraine. So, but I have to
Yeah.
go actually meet her there. So, yeah, I've decided I'm gonna go in September. So overall,
Okay.
you said you guys only talked. How long you guys talked
We've
for?
only ever had actually, well, that's the thing that's been a bit different. We only had the one Zoom call, the very introduction one. But then
Mm-hmm.
we text back and forth, and sometimes I throw voice messages along with it, and then she'll
Mm-hmm.
send me one back. But so we
Mm-hmm.
really haven't had the get to know you type conversation. It's just been little snippets about, she'll ask about smells, or she'll ask about the weather, or there's like, we got her Canadian visitor visa on the go right away because
Mm-hmm.
she didn't want to meet me and then have to wait another 6 months. So she wanted that to get started right now. So that way
That
it should
makes
only be
sense.
a couple months after. It was going to be about it from the time we spoke and made the decision. Yes, I'll come see you. It would be 4 months away.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 months for the visa. So she didn't want to wait 4 months to meet me and then wait
Mm-hmm.
another 6 months to come over.
Makes sense.
So so we got I don't know how it if the time frame is set in stone or if that was just a guide, but anyway, so we got the
Mm-hmm.
process of that started right away.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say about uh I had to I was told to, and then I did it, and she appreciated it. Like when we were booking the place, because we text went back and forth as far as picking
Mm-hmm.
what she wanted to see for scenery and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. And I says, well, and I'll get you your own room. And oh yes, thank you. And so it was obviously something that was bothering her,
Mm-hmm.
that if somebody didn't do
Well,
that, right?
yeah, it's just out of the respect. But I mean, like I said, you hit it off. At least she has. Well, like on me, for example, if sleeping together is it's different from like I personally like to sleep alone. So I don't know, like you can be intimate and then she can go, like it's again, it's just
Yeah,
just out of respect, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not like she didn't ask for presidential suite or anything like this, and even
Oh
she
no,
was kind of hesitant to even ask you, right? But she was
yeah,
a little nervous about it, right? Because it puts a lot of pressure, I guess. But again,
yeah.
you come in to meet her. Listen, every time I talk to my boyfriend, he has a lot of friends, and then they're older as well, right? So
Hmm.
he told me this one of his friends, he was on some kind of a dating app here, whatever. I can't, he doesn't know either because he doesn't anyway. So he chatted with this girl, right? And then they met up, and then the pictures that she had on her profile, they were like 25 years old or something, or 20 years old, and then she was 50 pounds heavier, right? So he's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And then he already made a reservation, wasn't a cheap restaurant, and then they were just stuck there, and he
Hmm.
couldn't get over the fact that she just lied to him. Like,
Yeah.
could have told him the truth. It was the woman, but like I said, 20 years older and 50 pounds heavier. So
Right.
just think about even that, like sometimes you go on the dates here, and then like I know that Western women have very unrealistic standards, right? So then you go and take them out on a date, so it's like at least $100, right? If not
Hmm.
200, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it doesn't go anywhere. And like I said, I have a friend that used men just to get free meals 2-3 times a week. So,
Yeah.
and even
Yeah.
getting food for her son as well. And I'm like, that's kind of rude, you know. So I'll
Yeah.
get some females, and I'm like, no, that's fine. So yeah, so now at least you know you have a woman that wants to get married, and
Yeah.
she likes you. So what else
Yeah.
you can tell you? How long do you know how long she's been with us?
I don't know for sure. Because Anna did a video with her about a year ago. She was
Mhm.
got her picture stolen and found her. Somebody found her face on another website. And
Oh, that's
so it's more than a year that she's been on Match Guarantee. And I think Anna said that when she wrote her renewal for the year, she was just, well, maybe this year's the year or something like that. So
hmm
so I
there
think
you
she's been
go.
on for a while. Yeah. And I was surprised how quickly it came together. I had no idea, right? I guess it
hmm
came quickly for me once I finally pulled the trigger on trying to find the right site, right? Because there's so many
Yeah.
scam sites,
Oh.
and I think I've only found one other site other than Joe's that I think might
hmm
not be a scam site, right? So
hmm
it was pretty scary for myself because I've been scammed, and that's why we've got this show in the works with you to
hmm
try to help people. I've been working on that on the side as well. Um,
hmm
we found uh, we found Irina's profile there. I did a fake profile for her. So
Listen, when I had social media, somebody stole my pictures and trying to scam people out of money, and then like people, because I still had my profile. So basically,
yeah,
what they did, they put the same username, just added one more nine at the end, right? Because I had three nines,
okay,
and they
yeah,
added one more, and they were asking
yeah,
people for money, and people were sending them money,
yeah,
and then the person would block them. So then they start looking, but they find me, right? Because it's the
right,
same, less
right,
one less, and they'll be like, well, I sent you this money. And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? I don't know you. Like, I don't even know you,
no,
who
you
you
didn't,
are. Like,
right,
and
well,
they'd be like, no, I talked to you. And I'm like, have you talked to me on camera? I'm like, let's do the camera now. And then I would go on camera. I'm like, this is me. Whoever you talk to, that wasn't me. I'm not
right,
here to ask anyone for anything, let alone money from strangers. That's not, this is weird, right? And that's
yeah,
why
right,
I we had this conversation, like we had this podcast earlier, like I think a couple of months ago, that there's so much scam going on, so much scam going on. But our women, we make sure that they're real. Obviously,
yeah,
we take our time to get to know them, what they want, and if there's slight something that if a little smell of them being gold diggers, we just tell them no, we don't want this,
yeah.
we don't want to tarnish our reputation, right? Like I
Well,
mentioned before.
that's the thing, in this circumstance with this lady I'm talking to, I'm
Mhm,
relying heavily on that vetting process because
mhm,
it would sound fishy that a week after you talk to them you can't
mhm,
share much information because she's in the hospital. Well, it's just like but because of the vetting and I know
mhm.
it's legit, it's true, right? And because
Yeah.
she's very shy about her English, so she doesn't really want to talk a whole lot, and
Mhm.
she wants to wait and see how the chemistry works, right?
Yeah,
And
you can blame her for that,
so
of course.
not at
And I
all.
know
Like I know she understands it very well, but
that's the thing. A lot of I know nowadays most people in Ukraine and Russia, they at least understand English well. Like my brother, every time I talk to my mom, because I'm most of the times I speak English, so
right,
I my English sometimes is better than Russian, and just because I'm
yeah,
always speaking, and then when I talk to my mom, so I have my brother sitting next to her so he can translate, or I have my other
right, yeah,
phone
yeah,
and I would translate, right? But I remember first time when I came here, I was so embarrassed because I didn't speak any English. I was so embarrassed to say something wrong. I thought, oh
yeah,
my God, people are gonna think I'm stupid, but then I just learned, right? So yes, of course,
yeah.
a lot of people are shy when it's hard to communicate. But this is why that's the number one reason she wants you to be there, because it's a lot easier when you're in person, because you can read
Yeah.
the person's body language, right? And you can explain this how somehow, with your hands,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
So
because even when we spoke on Zoom, her hands are going, and it was quite funny actually, because she was trying to mix in hand signals with her broken English, and then she knew she didn't have any Russian. I didn't catch any Russian words, but I really don't know too many Russian words, so I guess she could
yeah.
have thrown some in there and I wouldn't have known it, right? But so yeah, so that makes sense, and I can appreciate that. So, and I spoke with Anna about that too, and she says, no, that makes sense. Don't be afraid, because I was concerned, that it was all real, right? And she says,
Yeah.
no. She assured me that that's okay. Just keep the contact and let it go where it goes, right? Because
Yeah.
being at the hospital, she doesn't have her normal bathroom facility, so she's shy about her appearance, and she didn't, the
Hmm.
background of a broken down hospital. She didn't want to have that in any
Yeah.
pictures,
No,
and I'm
I
not
totally
familiar with that,
understand.
right? So yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
that's what I'm
hospital.
glad you understand, because then it emphasizes the fact that it makes sense what she's saying as far as being shy about her background,
Mhm.
like where she happens to be staying, and no amenities, because that's what she said. I'm staying in the hospital, so there's no amenities here. I can't remember what she didn't, maybe didn't use that word, but I know that's
Yeah, I don't think she used
proper.
that word. No, no.
No,
But
no,
yeah.
no. Something about the facilities is what she
Hmm.
was referring. Because I talked to her on that
Hmm.
Viber app. So sometimes she
Yeah.
writes to me in English, and sometimes she writes to me in Russian, and then I translate it. So we're
Hmm.
relying on what the computer decides, right?
And that's
The
another thing,
translation
though.
app.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you translate, a lot of the times, like even for example, jokes in Russian, there are so many
Right,
jokes. Even if you translate it word by word, it will make absolutely no sense, right? So if I've
right.
done Google Translate, and
Hmm.
sometimes it's like, well, no, that's not what I said. No, that's not what I said
Right.
at all, right?
Yeah.
So again, meeting in person, it will like break down a lot of walls that you have right now, because of, yeah,
Right.
the language barrier. Like I said, when I was here and I was in person with people, and I was really shy, so embarrassed. I remember my
Hmm.
first job, the interview, that actually when I got hired, there were three people, and we were supposed to read the script, person after person, right? And then they
Hmm.
got me reading, and I got stuck, and I couldn't. I was reading, but I was reading so slow, and I was burning red, sweating, and all that. And the manager's like,
Yeah.
"It's
Yeah.
okay, as long as you understand what I'm saying, it's fine." Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
but but think about this. Do you know how much fun it was gonna be to try and, like, when you get together and try to figure out what you're saying? That is actually a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of fun. It's a lot of fun, and
Well, I
then you
think
get,
so.
yeah, it would
Yeah.
be it would be a
No, I
lot
was
of
just
fun to
gonna
teach
say
you.
because no, go ahead.
No, because you get to teach her English. I'm sure she's gonna teach you some Russian, and that's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. That's
Well,
actually a very intellectual activity you have.
yeah, and I'm interested in learning Russian that way. I haven't taken it seriously enough for reading it on paper, because the alphabet is so much different. But
Well, we have 33 letters, opposed to
right,
how many? 26 in English. Anyway.
26 in English yet,
Oh, yeah.
and then different vowels and this. So if it was the same alphabet, I think it would be easier, but it's not. So I don't know what the characters mean. So, but
Well,
yeah, I am interested in picking it up, right?
you will pick it up once you start talking all the time, and she's gonna slip those Russian words in, and then just the repeat words, they're easy to learn. I can teach you
Well,
something right
exactly.
now. Yeah. Huh?
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Say я, no, no, say ты красивая, ты
T V
краси-
Красивia.
красивая. Кра,
Красивая.
I am gonna write it right here. It means you're beautiful. See?
Oh, okay. C or T?
T-I, but
T.
it's T,
Yeah.
so
T.
it's
T.
T,
Casivia.
T, красивая. I know. Okay, so I wrote it here. Ты красивая. You're beautiful.
Okay.
Well,
You're
anyway,
beautiful.
so
Okay.
I can teach you some before you go there, and Anna, I'm sure she can help you. Um, so yeah, and so do you guys have you guys planned out your vacation? What
Yeah.
are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
We
Okay.
do. Yeah. We actually, some of that via text messages we planned out. Well, she found, like, we figured out that Turkey was a good spot because it's reasonably priced, and
It
she
is
doesn't have
cheap.
to get a visa,
Yes, yes, and
and she
Turk.
wanted
Oh,
to be by the water. She wanted to be
yes.
someplace by the water. So
Mm-hmm.
she actually picked the town because she wanted a direct flight if possible for her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how Antalya came into it. And then
Mm-hmm.
I had sent her some pictures of hotels, and she sent me some pictures of hotels,
Mm-hmm.
and actually she found the link that ended up where we were staying because it was a bit better price than what I was finding. And
So she found
that's where the
something cheaper. Sorry,
yeah,
did she
she went
find?
and looked for something cheaper. Yeah, she did.
So
And
see, there you have it. Sorry to interrupt you, Pat, but there you
no, that's
have it.
okay.
If it was the materialistic woman, she would try and find something more expensive, but yet
Yeah,
she went and she found something more cheaper. So then you don't have to overspend because
yeah,
to have fun, you don't have to spend too much money, if any, to have fun, right?
right.
That's
And
what
in
I think.
fact, yeah,
And
she
what?
kind of gave me heck because I thought the rooms we booked didn't have their own, because I'm not familiar with European travels. Here you get a room, right? They've always got your own bathroom. And I thought I goofed and rented us each rooms that didn't have our own bathroom. So I upgraded her room. I left mine the low one, and
Mhm.
I told her, I says, well, I upgraded your room for you. And in her own way, she gave me crap for it because that would be too expensive. And it wasn't a lot more. And then I since found out from the hotel that no, you all have your own bathroom in what you
Mhm.
pick. So, but I'd already done it, so I just left it, right. But yeah, so
Mhm.
she gave me heck for spending too much money. She said that's too expensive. I says, oh no, it's okay. I did it. It's good.
Mhm.
But so yeah, like you say, and the fact that she found the more
Mhm.
reasonably priced place, right?
And see, I know Ukrainian women, we're not cheap, don't get me wrong, but I know I'm not cheap, but
No,
I'm thrifty. I'm thrifty.
yeah,
If I can buy the same thing but for cheaper,
right.
why the
That's
heck would
just
I
as
want to
good.
overspend?
Right,
This
that's
is
just as good.
exactly like, for example,
Yeah,
I love to shop at Winners. You know Winners, right?
yeah.
I buy things, and I used to have this friend. She's from Cuba, and she's very, when she buys clothes, she buys t-shirts, like a Guess t-shirt for $700, which is a plain freaking t-shirt.
Yeah,
And then we went out together. It was an all white party, and I bought the same t-shirt for $5 from some cheap whatever. And then she
yeah.
had somebody spill wine on her. And actually, I told her, I'm like, all it takes is somebody to spill some crap on your shirt, and that's
Yeah,
$700 down the drain. She's like, well, it's
that's right.
Gucci. I'm like, who the heck sees that little G that is like, who is gonna go and put their face
That's
in your
tucked
boot?
into your pants. Yeah, yeah,
And anyway, so that's exactly what happened. She's like, oh, you jinxed it. You put a spell on. I'm like, you know what? Shut the heck up. Anyway. So
yeah,
my point is like, why? Like that's how Ukrainian women are. If we need to shop around because we don't have that much money in our bank accounts, especially
yeah.
back in Ukraine. So we go and we shop around. We go to bazaar. I used to go to bazaar ever since I was a little kid with my great grandma, and she go from one vendor to another to find a better
Hmm.
price, better product, because we would rather have money saved up. So for the future, for the rainy day, like I know
Yeah.
women here, they don't know what a rainy day is because they've never been in a freaking storm
No,
before, because everything
no,
is
not at
kind of
all.
given to them. It's so easy. They're like, well, that's what I'm saying. Even like this online dating, these websites where women get all this attention, they think, well, I can find a better man. No, honey, you
Yeah,
can't. No, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
a lot of women, they have a good man and they just let him go because they think, well, I have all these DMs, from all these men, then I can just find a better one. So I'm just
yeah,
kind of settling for you. Yesterday I watched this video. This woman was with a guy for a long time, and he got her a engagement ring, proposed to her, but it was $2,500 engagement ring, which I think is
right,
plenty if you ask me. But she's like, "Oh, my friends, no, I'm not gonna wear this piece of junk. It's $2,500. All my friends, they're all wearing big rocks, like 10, $15,000, $20,000." It's like, well,
yeah,
go. Like, what are you? She's like, "Oh, I was with all these rich men, and I had to humble myself to be with you." He's like, "Okay, well, get the hell out." She's like, "Well, I don't have anywhere to go." Well,
mm-hmm.
you said all these men, hello, go, right? And put her on the
Yeah,
spot and kicked her out,
right,
right? And
yeah,
I mean, to
yeah,
me, if my boyfriend got me a $2,500 ring, I'd be like, why? Like, look at my jewelry. Like, these are basically,
yeah, yeah,
it's just, I got me this, but again, silver, nothing too
yeah.
fancy.
You certainly wouldn't give him heck for it.
I would give him crap because $2,500, we can take a vacation, we can go to
Right.
Ukraine and enjoy, go see my family and stuff like this. What it
Yeah,
it's not practical. And first of all, $30,000 or $10,000 on your finger. All it takes,
yeah,
you're walking down the street, some junkie hits you over the
yeah,
head, takes it off, 30 grand done. There it is. Or even you can
yeah,
lose it.
yeah.
It
Well, a
so
friend of mine is a young fellow, and he just bought his girlfriend a ring, and I don't know exactly what he spent, but it was around $1,000, which was enough. But she
gosh,
was so
hello.
thrilled, and even in her mind, that was too much. And she says, "Well, I want to get something for you. What kind of jewelry do you like?" He says, "I hate
Mhm.
jewelry." He
Yeah.
said- so he came up with something that he really likes. That he says, "Well, if you want to give me an engagement gift," he told her what it was, and she says, "Really,
Mhm.
that's what you'd like?" And
Mhm.
he says, "Yeah, yeah. If you want to reciprocate, that's fine by me." And she says,
Yeah.
"Well, I really like the ring, and that's what I'll do for you then." And yeah,
Listen, once you have true love, it's all it takes. If you have
yeah,
ambitions, I mean, these Western women, and again, I don't want to say all Western women, but majority.
no,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they want a man who's already established, that already has
yeah,
everything. But us Ukrainian women, if we see a potential in a man, if he has goals, if he has ambitions, if he has a drive, if he wants to thrive in life, we will support him no matter what. And what do men really want? Men are such simple creatures.
hmm,
Who wants a belly full, balls empty, and no nagging, just support,
that's true.
support,
And
support. That's
yeah,
all you need. Like, seriously,
that's it. And
that's
that's what
it. And
excited me
bring them.
about learning about. Yeah, that's what excited me about learning about Ukrainian women, what Eastern European women was. They can motivate you without making you feel like you're being nagged, because to a fault, I do have a lazy streak, but it doesn't
Yeah.
take very much to get me going. But if somebody's
Mhm.
nagging at me, I'll show
Mhm.
you I won't do it.
Exactly, right? There's the difference between nagging and what's the word I'm looking for?
Friendly
And
motivation, maybe.
motivating, right? Yes,
Right.
exactly. Like, I know I nag my boyfriend sometimes, but again, not nagging, just kind of motivating him, like, hey, you
It
need to
might
do
feel
this.
like you're nagging sometimes, but it's how he takes it,
But he
right?
knows because it comes from the from comes from a good place where I'm not just
Yes.
nagging him. Well, you just put this thing, like, in the wrong, because his ex, she was just nagging him for every little thing. Well, you didn't close the patio door, or you put bread on this side of the counter, not this side. Just crazy stuff, right?
Right. Right.
And if I nag him, I nag him, hey, buddy, you gotta go to the doctor. You have to get this thing checked out. That's what I would
Please.
nag him
Yeah.
about. Like, something that makes sense.
Or if
And
the
then
door
I
bugs you, you
and I
catch him when he's walking. I was gonna say, if the door thing bugs you, you just catch him when he's coming through the door. I said, "Dear, please, can you close that door again, please?"
yes,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No
exactly.
problem. Sorry.
Communication,
That's how I'd handle it.
communication. Exactly. Communication is a very key to any relationship. And I'm not talking about romantic, it's the friendship, it's the business relationship. If you don't communicate, and I mean I'm taking some group sessions, like for relationships as well, like and emotions, stuff like this, just to get ideas as well, right? And we can't assume that the man knows what's going on in our head, right? And if I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
tell him why I'm upset, how is he gonna know if I don't tell him why I'm upset, right?
Right.
So you need to communicate, right? And sometimes things get out of proportions because you don't have a you don't have communication, you don't can express your feelings, and you bottle it up, right? So it's best to
Yeah.
always talk about things, like maybe not in the moment. If you're really mad, take a breather, take it
Yeah.
easy, step
Yeah.
back, and then once you rationalize what is wrong, then address the issue. But yeah, so that's how relationships work for me, and
Yeah.
how should
Yeah.
it work for everyone, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, expensive jewelry, like that's why I'm saying the Ukrainian women. I actually I met this one lady also. She not long ago, a few weeks back. She's here with her boyfriend too, and he got a ring that was like, I think $200. That's all he could afford. He bought it
Hmm.
like it's not even like gold. I think it's like silver or something, but that's all he could afford.
Hmm.
It's a pretty ring, but it
Yeah.
and looks like it's white gold, right? So silver and
Right.
white gold a little bit shinier, but whatever. But
Hmm.
she's
Yeah.
happy. And he told her, he's like, listen, honey, I know I can't afford it right now, um once I get a better job, I'll buy you a better one. She's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I love it. I love it. It
Yeah.
looks good
Yeah.
because he gave it to her with a lot of love, right? And I
Right. Right.
know a lot of women here, they get a ring, they're like, well, I don't like it, let's go exchange it. No, it's a gift. You can't exchange it.
Right.
Okay.
No.
I
No.
mean, and when people put too much price on everything, I I say that you can be rich, make one bad investment, and you're broke. And if you
Yeah.
just concentrate, if your relationship is based on material thing, that there you have it, one bad investment. The biggest investment of any person, of a man or a woman, it's their spouse, because you can meet someone and have it all, meet the wrong person, you can lose it like that. And I've mentioned that before
Yeah.
in my previous podcast. Or you can have nothing and you can meet the right woman, and she will build you up from nothing. Like I said, to me, I was never
Yeah.
looking for someone who has it all. Like when I was young girl, yeah, I'm gonna marry someone rich and good looking. Yeah, okay. But there's nothing like I just wanted I want stability. That's what Ukrainian women, we want stability. It doesn't have to be like
Yeah.
millions of dollars. We can make it. I mean, women make it work in Ukraine, and Ukraine, the situation, living situation there.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
make it if we can make it there, being happy, have a good relationships coming here, coming to US, it's only gonna get even better, right?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I said, Ukrainian women, they're very easygoing, and as long as we have food, like to me, I know I have bills paid, food in the fridge,
Yeah.
I'm healthy, I'm happy. That's
Yeah.
that's it. No need to overcomplicate things, right?
Yeah.
So when in August, when are you going? Are you gonna
Uh,
be sweating a lot turkey in summertime? I've
I
never
got a
been.
feeling it's going to be warm there. I'm hoping there's I already know there are lots of water adventures because
Yeah.
that was one
Mhm.
thing she asked about, and I sent her there again. It was something that talked about on the budget. Is I sent her a half a dozen different things, and I actually sent her a half a dozen of the
Mhm.
$20 a piece type stuff, and she says, well,
Mhm.
which one do you want to do? And I says, well, we're there long enough, we might be able to do all of those things. And she
Mhm.
was just blown
Yeah.
away. Oh, that's too expensive. We'll see how
Yeah.
it goes.
See, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you straight up. When a woman is, or this will tell you a lot. She already has plans for the future with you, because she
Right.
doesn't want you to overspend, because she already has a future in her head, that money, instead of wasting it on right now, let's save it
Yeah.
so we can put it towards, maybe kids education, maybe
Yeah.
towards property. Like, I don't know if you own a house or not, but
I own my
my
own
my
house.
point is, so that she's not looking for just, hey buddy, come spend money on me, oh no, I did what,
Yeah.
this shitty room, I want a presidential suite,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
that
Well,
tells
and
you a
she sent
lot.
me something. She sent me something, and I thought she was hinting she wanted me to buy it for her. And she says, "No, I'm just sending it because I just want to show you what I like." And I says, "Okay, well maybe
Mhm.
we can go shopping when we're in Turkey." She says, "I don't want to go
Mhm.
shopping with you. I want to go on adventures." And then I says,
Yeah.
"Well, what if it's too hot to be outside? Then walking
Mhm.
around an air-conditioned mall is a good thing."
Mhm.
And then she said back, she says, "Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that's a good idea."
See,
So
because we don't, uh, like I said, there are, of course, not all Ukrainian women are also perfect. No, there are degenerates
no,
in
no,
every nation, and it happens, right? But
yeah,
that should just tell you a lot, just by this, by she just wants to have adventures, because in the end, when you die, are you gonna be able to
hmm,
take your money with you? No.
nope,
Like, it's
no.
all you have when you're old, all you have is the memories, okay? And
Yeah,
memories of shopping and spending $20,000 on a couple of outfits. That's the memory you want to be stuck with when you're old.
yeah,
No,
that's
you
right.
want to have memories.
No,
Exactly, right?
sitting by the beach or going snorkeling or something else, right?
Exactly. Yes, because those the things that before you die, that's what flashes in front of your eyes, and all is gonna flash that you spend money on this, on this woman, and that much money on her, and bought her this and that, and then, like I said, it's the biggest investment, it. And like I said, money is one thing, but it's not an object. I mentioned also this before. There's a saying in Russian and Ukrainian: with the loved one, even life in the hut seems like a palace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because what do you really need? You need to be healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are in control of your emotions. Maybe not, sometimes depends on where you're born, so you might not have that many opportunities to build your future, right? But this is the
Yeah,
opportunity. This is the country, like, full of opportunities. The Western society is full of opportunities, but I can see that because of that also, and all these options, it's kind of becoming rotten, especially in the dating pool,
I
because
take it for granted.
exactly, that's what I
Yeah,
mentioned. Like, I have never seen people throw away food until I came here. I've never seen this before. I was
yeah,
like, what? You are throwing away all the, you didn't even finish it. That's okay. And I'm like, right?
yeah, right.
Because it was a sin. Like, when I was growing up in USSR, like that, it was a
Yeah,
sin to throw away bread, right?
yeah,
Because it's such
yeah,
a, what is it, symbolic,
right.
thing for us, right? Because that's what people used to eat when they were broke. They would just eat bread and glass of
Yeah,
water, back in the
right.
days. That's why, right?
Yeah, it would
But
fill your belly up even though it wasn't enough, but Yeah.
yeah, but at least something, right? So I that
Right. Yeah. So your belly was full.
yes, and like I said, Ukrainian women, we learn to live within our need. We don't,
Yeah.
of course, yes. Who doesn't want to be pampered? What woman doesn't want to be
Yeah.
pampered and taken out and, uh, courted and uh, gi- receiving gifts and presents and all this and that? But us Ukrainian women, like I said, bring her. Listen, she will love it if you bring her flowers, and don't get like two like roses. Always a yes, always a yes.
Yeah.
And I suggest red roses or pink roses. Okay,
Okay.
yellow roses, it's a bad juju, whatever. I don't believe in this,
Right.
but I know that a lot of
Yeah. I know
Ukrainian
some
women
people
very
do. Yeah.
superstitious. Yellow is not the color. So pink or
Right.
red. Red is for passion. Pink is for cuteness, kind of. I really like you. Red is like, oh, I love you and
Right.
stuff. I mean, bring
Right.
and never bring even numbers of flowers. It's a bad
Right.
juju as
Right.
well. So 3, 5. Well, you know the
Yeah. Yeah.
drill.
Yeah. No, I
So
did
I'm
learn
just
that one
giving you
actually.
pointers out there.
No, no. Yeah.
Bring
It's
her,
good. Yeah.
yeah,
Because
flowers.
it's set up too. Because she didn't want to arrive in Turkey and have to wait for me. So I actually get to Turkey a day earlier so I can
Okay.
meet her at the airport. And then I
Mm-hmm.
also leave a day later so I can send her off.
Yeah,
So that
makes
was
makes
something
sense.
she requested.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, 'cause she said
that's
she's
how.
never really flown alone, and she didn't want to be
Oh,
arrive alone and have to find her own way to her
yeah.
apartment to the hotel.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I ended up. Yeah,
That's super cool. And listen, you know what? For us, we really like gentlemen. Like I said, you can have a lot of money, but if you're a prick, we're not interested. Not interested
yeah,
at all,
yeah,
right? So yes, open the door for her. Mm, okay. Just simple things that don't cost that don't cost you anything. But like I
no,
said,
not at
open the
all.
door, pull the chair, tell her she's beautiful, and you'll see how she reacts. Not like these Western women, you give them compliment. I know. It's like, okay, well, go wash
Yeah,
your
that's
face
right. They
off.
get
Go wash the stuck off your face, and then we talk, okay?
that's
So
right. That's
that's another
right.
thing about Ukrainian and like Slavic women. We don't use too much makeup, right? Unless
No,
it's like a wedding or
I've seen her
something.
pictures. Yeah, her pictures. She doesn't wear a lot. She wears some, but not a lot.
A little
By
bit,
the
yes.
pictures she sent me. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, a
very
little
little,
bit.
very little.
And also once you go and see Ukrainian Russian women, we like when we go out, even taking out garbage. We like to present ourselves. We like to look good,
Right.
no matter what the occasion is. At least
Yeah,
half decent. But when I first came here, again, I was shocked because I was in the lineup and I see this couple and they're both wearing pajamas and slippers.
yeah, yeah,
What what? And I didn't speak any English because I was shocked. I'm like, oh,
yeah, yeah.
pajamas. I've
Yeah,
never seen this.
somewhere in people our age, and I say people up until they're in their 60s and 70s now, they stopped
Hmm.
dressing up because my grandparents who were born in the 20s would have
Yeah.
never. I mean, Papa had his farm clothes and he's going to town clothes and is going
Hmm.
to, the town 5 miles away for coffee was farm clothes. But if you went to say Camrose, which was 3/4 of an hour or half an hour drive, well, then that was town clothes. So it was
Hmm.
very different dress, fancier
Yeah.
clothes, and no tears or anything where farm clothes could be worn, right?
Yeah, because that's me. You were going for work,
That's
right?
work clothes, but town clothes were closer to dress clothes.
And you also mentioned that you have a farm, right? And I'll tell you straight
Yeah.
up, Ukrainian and Russian women, Slavic women, we love farming. Love it.
Okay.
I grew up. Uh, we grow. We used to grow all our vegetables, fruits. Ever since I was 5 years old, my great grandma, 5 o'clock in the morning, get up, let's go. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I we used to love fresh vegetables. She is gonna be in heaven. I'm a little bit
Yeah.
envious
She knows about.
because
She know.
that,
she's asked me pictures of the yard, and so she knows what size the yard is, and she's already talked to me about what I'm trying to grow on my farm and that. And she said, "Are
Yeah.
we gonna have room for vegetables?" I says, "Yeah, if you want." Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she wants, and I have berries, and she doesn't know.
Mhm.
And I sent her some information on the berries because she wasn't familiar with the names. I'm sure they have them over there because the climates are similar, but it's
Oh
just the
yeah.
names are different, right?
I've never
But she
seen
was excited
Saskatoon
about
berry,
that. Yeah, that's
but
what you don't not over there, Saskatoons,
I've
because
well
that's what I've got a lot of.
I don't know about in Russia because I was born in
Yeah.
Russia, but I grew up in Ukraine. But yeah,
Okay.
I've never seen it, but I love Saskatoon berries now.
Yeah,
And now
I
I
have a
know
lot of
where they grow.
Saskatoons.
Yeah. So she's
Saskatoons
yes,
raspberries are the ones I have mostly.
yes, raspberries, tons of raspberries, tons of blackberries, tons. I just talking to my grandma this morning. She's like, "Oh, the second coming of raspberries is soon. So when are you coming?" And I want to go in September. It's kind of tied up right
Yeah.
now with work and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, September I want to go visit too because she's not getting any younger. And yeah,
No.
so yeah, that's. She's already asking for vegetables because we love vegetables. Love vegetables. She's gonna be a little bit shocked to come and like when she comes here. Too much processed food. I
Hmm.
I don't eat processed food till not.
I
Still,
try
I
to
make
avoid it. It's
yeah.
when I can, but I'm not a very good cook, so it's
Oh,
kind of
you're
a
gonna be
necessary
you're in
evil.
for
But
you're in for a treat. I know she's gonna spoil you rotten, and in
she
a
keeps
good way.
telling me she doesn't cook much, but I got a feeling it'll change because living with her grandma, she just says she follows instructions. So, and she
Mhm.
does know that I'm not much of a cook, so it's going to be
Well,
interesting. Her seeing her instincts take over.
no, but exactly, instincts take over. I'm sure she's watched, she's seen them cook. She probably just didn't cook because mm,
Well,
uh,
she does. She says
mom
she
and
does it,
grandma
but she
cooked
just
for her.
follows instructions.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
she
look at it
grandma
this way.
tells her what to do. She said, "Here, cut this
Yeah.
up. Here,
Plus, it
cut this up."
could be an activity that you both can explore, right? You can cook together. It's a lot of fun. I mean, me personally, I don't want anybody in the kitchen. I already know what I'm doing. Unless I ask
What'd
you,
you say?
don't
Look
even.
at it this way, which?
Um, no, I said that you can actually learn how to cook together. It could be
Yeah,
something that you do together. You can take a class. I really don't think she needs classes. I think she's just playing it down for you. I've never
right.
met a
Okay,
Russian or Ukrainian woman that does not know how to cook. Okay,
right. Okay.
never.
Maybe just
They
because
might.
she's shy about it and doesn't want to
I think
uptake it
so,
too much in case.
or maybe she's just playing dumb, or playing how the possum that she doesn't know, and then boom, and then she's gonna cook for you, and you'd be like, oh my god, what? Because I know I'm a good cook, right?
Yeah.
But I'm always a little bit self-conscious, right? Because food is a very big part of my life, well, anybody's life, really. It's essential, right?
Well, it's
But
essential, but some people are more foodies than others.
yes, and well, like I said, I grew up on homemade food made from scratch, so like this processed stuff kind of creeps me out. So,
Yeah. It's not
so
good for you.
oh, it's awful, awful, awful. But I should start like a nutrition channel as well. I've been thinking about
You
it, but
probably could. You probably could. And cooking for two. So much is everything for four or cooking for one. Everything's cooking for two or cooking for four.
yeah. Well, I sometimes make a little bit extra, and then, well, for example, when I make soup is always
Yeah.
better next day. So yeah, so I make a
Oh,
little bit
big
extra.
time. Big time.
Yeah.
Big
So
time.
see, and I'm sure she likes vegetables for a reason, right? She wants to grow them, so obviously she's gonna be
Yeah. And
cooking
she
stuff.
likes fresh fruit because she's told me about that she likes fresh fruit for breakfast.
Yes, I do too. Like I said, Ukrainian women and Slavic women, and Slavic people in general, we like fresh
Yeah.
fruits. We like vegetables and stuff, and And yes, like I said, cooking. I love to cook. I can spend all day, and then my boyfriend's like, "You should become a chef," and I'm like, "I don't think so. I don't want to start
Then it'd be
hating
a
it."
job. Yeah, then it'd be a
Exactly right.
job.
Yes, I mean, if I had, no, I wouldn't even want my restaurant. Maybe one of these days I want to get like a food truck where I work
Yeah,
my own hours whenever I feel like it. If I find one for a good price, eventually,
yeah.
yes, that would be something to do like in the summertime. Wintertime is not practical, but yes. So,
No. Well, my
mhm.
understanding is if you get good at a food truck, you can run it for 3 or 4 months in the summer, and you don't have
Yeah,
to run it in the winter. You've made enough
exactly.
money if you're thrifty enough
Mhm.
that you're good.
I I know I talked to some people in US. I have some
Yeah,
friends and we were discussing it, and that's what he was saying also is like, all I need is 3 months in the summertime. He's like, I make like a little bit over $250,000. I'm like, what? He's like, but then again,
yeah,
of course it's the food, and again it's
yeah.
location as well, right? But
Finding the good
mainly,
spot and
yeah. And once you have that thing rolling, just post it on Instagram or whatnot. We're gonna be in this spot, blah blah blah. So yeah, so
yeah,
that's something that maybe like a retirement plan
yeah.
whenever I feel like, right? So yeah,
That's right.
so anyway, holy crap. I just realized
We've been
it's
talking for over an hour. I should probably get along on my way. And
well, listen, I'm really enjoying it, but I do have another job to go to. Bills are
yeah,
not getting themselves paid, are they? Right?
no, no, that's
So
right.
it was really,
Take
really
care, and
nice
we'll
chatting
talk to you
with
again.
you. And then yeah, come back here. I really, really want the
Well, and
updates,
we've
and I
got it in the
really
works
want
for
to know
that other show we're working on. So
Mhm.
that's still in the works for that other show that Joe was talking about. So
Yeah, that's that. I've been waiting, but I know that there's some difficulties
I've got
where
some ads percolating on that, and I've got some more that
Mhm.
I've got to reply to try to get some more meat for the show. So I just haven't had
Yeah.
time over the last week or two. So, but
Yeah, no, understandable. Well, now that you have to, well, the moving alone is crazy. Yeah,
oh, it's insane.
and a farm, and then this heat, holy, it's like that's one thing
Oh
about
yeah, we've
Alberta.
been having the heat wave here too.
Oh, I know. It's like it was plus 43 in the sun a
Yeah.
couple of days ago. Like it says plus
Well,
30 something. And I'm
Wednesday in
like,
Edmonton it was 37, and that was in Edmonton. I don't know about in the sun, but that's just what the ambient was. And
mhm.
but out at the farm it was 34, but still it was the hottest we've had in a while.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
don't
one.
do
That's
well in the
one thing
heat.
in Alberta. It's either super cold or super hot. When
Yeah.
like there's black and white, but there's really no gray area when it comes to weather. It's like and then
No.
all 4 seasons in one day. It's like what I
Well,
keep
I always
telling
say we have
people.
2 seasons: winter and construction.
That's a good one. Never heard that one before. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, you
All
take
right.
care, and we'll talk to you again.
You too. It was really nice chatting with you. Say hello to your lovely lady, and like I said,
You bet.
come back. I'm
You
always
bet. Take care.
happy to chit chat. Okay, bye. All right, gentlemen. So I didn't get back to most of you. Anyways, so let me play the last video here, as we always do, as I always do. Now that I can find it, because I know I had a hard time finding it before. But anyway, so thank you very much for visiting and listening to me, and I really appreciate you coming back and really enjoy my time with you guys. And I wish you all of you to have a wonderful weekend and the rest of the week. So let me play this last video, and I'll say goodbye one more time.
This channel is designed to help you with this colossal decision that you are entertaining, looking at, which is, hey, I know you're done with dating in the West. Let's not even go there. Old story. But the question you're asking yourself is, are pastures possibly greener elsewhere on this beautiful planet of ours? Yes, the answer is yes. How do I know? I was in your very shoes, just a number of years ago. Now I'm happily married to my soulmate, my best friend, and we have 2 beautiful daughters, and life couldn't be better. But you gotta play your cards right, as anything in life. There's a few paths to success, and the rest of them are paths to failure. So to join for 30 days and do unlimited video dating for free, all you do is fill out the form in the description below this video, and Bob's your uncle. You can date them, traditional women, for 30 days on video right here, completely free, no obligation, no credit card, no nothing. The other thing that you really want to check out is if you're wondering, how do women rate you? First, Western women. What's your SMV, your sexual market value score? Your score from 1 to 10. How do Slavic women, traditional women, rate you? Is it any different? Here's a tip. Most guys get between a 1 to 3 point bump in their score from Western to Slavic. Why? Because they're traditional values. Now, the caveat here is if you're a serious guy, right? You're looking for love and marriage. If you're looking at playing the field, well, no, your SMV will go down. Then you can calculate your probability of marriage with a Slavic woman. And finally, you can calculate your maximum realistic, keyword, realistic age gap with a Slavic woman. All of those are on my calculator, yoursmv.com. Thanks very much. Please subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and share the love.
Okay, so there you have it, gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather, have some fun, and I hope to see you next Saturday. Okay, bye.